and also criminal deviant conduct, which the record doesn't disclose what that was exactly. Then, after serving in prison, Mr. McLean was released for parole, but then violated the terms of parole by having internet and was sent back to prison. 1 year after being released again, he was convicted of having child pornography. Is that correct?
I'm unclear on exactly the time frame that you're at, but the petitioner was convicted of distributing child pornography.
Child pornography that was images of adults violently raping children.
Abhorrent conduct.
Okay.
For which there are real victims.
And this individual, 6'2", biologically a man. A minute ago you said that when this man decided that he was a she, you said this individual was, quote, I wrote it down, sober and entirely a female. That phrase struck me as remarkable. Did this individual have male genitalia?
I think what I said, or at least what
that is a verbatim quote, entirely a female.
Sorry, what I meant to say was hormonally a female.
Okay, but that's not entirely. Did this individual have male genitalia?
Yes.
So you took a 6'2" serial rapist, serial child rapist with male genitalia, and he said, you know, I'd like to be in a women's prison. And your answer was, that sounds great to me. Let me ask you something. The other women in that prison, do they have any rights?
Is that a question you're
yes,
asking me?
The other women in that prison, do they have any rights?
Of course.
Do they have the right not to have a 6'2" man who is a repeat serial rapist put in as their cellmate?
Senator Cruz, I considered the facts presented to me, and I reached a decision.
I asked you a
based on what
question.
the law
I asked
is.
you a question. Do they have a right not to have a 6'2" man who is a serial rapist put in as their cellmate? Do those women have a right to that?
Every person who's incarcerated has the right to be safe in their space.
Obama out.
Nick Walt, ABC News.
Who did even allow this lady to be a judge? She definitely should have been in prison with that trans woman Lolol.
Said, Chase, would you rather smash the hottest trans woman in the world or the oldest woman in the world? Honestly, bro, the oldest woman in the world, because then I wouldn't be gay. Are you like, Chase, how dare you be transphobic?
Yes, actually, what the f do you mean?
Because if I had sex with a trans woman, I'd be having sex with a biological man, and I don't want to do that. Because I'd be gay if I had sex with a biological man.
That's not gay.
That's
And
gay.
I don't even shut the f up, actually.
She's right. I mean, that's really
But
hateful, bro.
she's not, would technically be homosexual. A trans woman is a biological man. Sue me, it's true. You know what God said? It said he made them man and women. Who knew that stating biological facts would make people walk up?
Stop it. Get some help.
Sis, you can confess you are just embarrassed.
At some point, somebody's truth has to win. Because guess what? Your truth doesn't matter. That's
Guess
still
what?
a truth
You've
claim.
had your truth in this country for the past thousands of decades.
Thousands of decades?
Not thousands.
Goodness.
Whatever. That's a little embarrassing. But like your truth has been the narrative of this country forever.
Has
and
it?
you think
Roe
yes,
versus
the
Wade
white
just
straight
got
male
repealed.
truth,
Abortion was legal in this country for 40 years.
And before the 40 years, what was
and
it?
crime dropped
Thankfully illegal in
40%
most states.
after it
And
went.
on top of that, do you
Oh
not
wait, hold
think-
on. Do you think abortion lowers crime rates?
Crime dropped
100%.
40% after abortion became legal.
Why is that the case?
It's called a statistic.
Who has the most abortions in America?
Woman.
Black people. Is that so? Are you trying to say the termination of blacks in the womb lower crime? That's a very racist argument.
That is not a
Okay.
You know,
okay. Actually, let me see if this statistic is.
I can't hear you. You gotta come on. I'm sorry.
Okay, but there's a reason. There has to be.
Like, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I'm with you on everything.
These wokies treat stats like they're horoscopes, completely optional. Feelings over facts, brain rot ideas.
Can you identify as a black person?
No,
Why?
because I'm not black.
I'm not a woman, but I can identify as a woman according to you.
If you transition, maybe.
What defines a transition?
If that's your goal, you know.
If you believe it.
Sure.
If you believe you're black, why aren't you black?
Well, that's just not. That's like genetics. That's like ancestry.
You're also born a man or a woman. It's the same thing. That's also genetics.
Okay, I'm over it.
Seriously, it's 2024, and we're still stuck on this. This convo is more outdated than MySpace. Embarrassing, bro.
Men do not menstruate. Only women menstruate. Now, you can call yourself whatever you want.
Cis men don't menstruate, but trans men do menstruate.
No,
Same
they
as
don't.
non-binary people.
Only women.
Menstruating is not exclusive
Yes,
to
it
cis
is.
women. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
So explain to me as to why my body
if you are,
menstruated at
if
some
your
point
chromosomes are XX and you're young, you menstruate. If you're XY, you don't.
Correct, but what about trans men and non-binary?
They're
We're
not
excluding
men.
a whole group of people
They're women
that
dressed
menstruate.
as men.
Well, what's a man to you? You define a man for me.
You have chromosomes that are X and Y. That's what a man is.
So why are we just looking at the science of this as an
The
example
science.
when we've learned sex and gender identity are they're completely different things.
They're not completely different
They are
things.
completely different.
Completely different words.
Sex is what you're born with, the sexual reproductive organs you have. Gender is what you identify with. They're completely
Well, I don't
different
accept that
things.
distinction. You have to argue for it. You're just giving a conclusion. You're just making it up.
So race is genetic, but not genitals. What's next? Fish don't swim. Ha 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 ha. Can't even make this stuff up.
Statistically, it is true that Asians, right, on average, make more money, better test scores, get into better colleges, all that stuff. I think the question is, why is that? And I don't know, model minority, whatever that label wants
That's
to mean.
actually a myth because we cannot be.
Well, no, listen. Well, let me finish my point. We need to observe what makes people successful and unsuccessful. And I think when you look at trends that are generally true in the Asian community, not of everyone, but are generally true, usually you have families that are sticking together. You have people are taught to work hard in school, not get into trouble. I think that translates to why Asians en masse are successful. And I don't think you have to be Asian or white for that matter to not have kids out of wedlock, not, commit crime, not cause trouble, whatever it is. It's just a matter of common sense. That's what makes people successful. And if that's so-called assimilation, having a nuclear family, buying a house, going to school, whatever it is, then yeah, okay, call me a pro-assimilation then.
I think there's a difference between assimilation and erasure. Yes.
Bro just casually dropping facts like they're hot takes at a BBQ. The Wokies are charred at this point.
This man just destroyed this woke liberal with facts.
I'm a transgender woman. My pronouns are she, her, and I will only accept those pronouns. You say you care about the students, but half of you are not sure what gender is, especially transgender. I know the lawyer said transsexual earlier. That's not the correct term. It's transgender. And in the workspace, I'm protected by that. Our students should be too. They're not over 18 and don't have a voice.
It's absolutely ridiculous that you guys are even considering letting bathrooms and locker rooms being co-ed. I don't care how they identify or whatever kind of delusion people live in, whatever kind of mental disease. Boys are boys and girls are girls. It's simple and basic. It's always been that way, and that's why we have separate bathrooms.
50% bald, 50% purple hair, 100% woke brain malfunction. Somebody get this guy a reboot button.
Imagine being trans and trying to go get your medication.
I can't imagine.
And I literally walk up there, the lady on the phone is like, oh, can I have your last name? And so I give it to her. She's like, oh, okay, I'll meet you out there and I'll give you your prescription, right? So I'm waiting and she comes out and then she says, oh, is this for? And then she says my dead name. No! And I'm like, my name is Rylan.
Sir, I've made a terrible mistake.
And she just looks at me. And then she puts the medication on the table and shuts the door and locks it behind her.
This conversation is over.
My dead name? Ha ha ha. I'm out.
I am so tired of talking about woke culture because one of the tenets of wokeness is, of course, that your feelings matter more than the truth. And the only thing that wokeness has to offer in exchange is to brainwash bright young minds like you to believe that you are victims. We are told that your generation cares more than any other about one issue in particular, and that issue is climate change. I will join you in worshipping at the feet of St. Greta of climate change. This country is responsible for 2% of global carbon emissions, which means that if Britain was to sink into the sea right now, it would make absolutely no difference to the issue of climate change. You know why? Because the future of the climate is going to be decided in Asia and in Latin America by poor people who couldn't give a shit about saving the planet. 1/3 of all children who live in extreme poverty in the world live in India.
This right here is why I still pay my Wi-Fi bill. Pure gold. Somebody put this on the best of the internet playlist.
If you're here to ask me about the term mansplaining, some people use it and some people think of it as a kind of feminist term. But feminism is not an organisation. We don't have an AGM. We don't all think the same thing. It's the campaign for women's liberation and women's equality. And as such...
Well, you seem to think a lot has twaddle today, Kate. Certainly nothing racist. And so far, you're the only one who's been sexist tonight. Kelly J, you want to respond?
Yeah, I'd just be interested to know when we talk about, modern feminists, where they've been, because lots of modern feminists, Kate included, don't seem to want to talk about the existential threat posed by transgender ideology hang on one moment, on women's spaces, on the fact that there are boys and girls toilets in schools and girls don't have access to single-sex facilities, on the basis that we are changing. This is what happens. Modern feminism, the biggest threat to women in this country right now, women and girls in this country, is transgender ideology and the fact that we no longer can define what a woman is without some silly caveat. And we've got men, so actually we might even now have women man-spreading or woman-spreading because they might require this space apparently. And then we've got self-proclaimed feminists like Kate Smurthwaite who are too frightened to actually name this issue and talk about it. I think it's laughable that we can talk about...
Well, I think you just triggered her. I think you just triggered her, Kelly, to the point that she just did the laptop drop. You know, it's the modern day equivalent of a...
Sis, maybe have the guts to sit here and listen to facts instead of crying on the internet.
Women, cis women, have the capacity for pregnancy. Many cis women do not have the capacity for pregnancy. There are also trans men who are capable of pregnancy, as well as non-binary people who are capable of pregnancy.
So this isn't really a women's rights issue.
We can recognize that this impacts women while also recognizing that it impacts other groups. Those things are not mutually exclusive, Senator Hawley.
Oh, so your view is that the core of this right then is about what?
So I want to recognize that your line of questioning is transphobic. And it opens up trans people to violence by not recognizing them.
Wow, you're saying that I'm opening up people to violence by asking whether or not women are the folks who can have pregnancies?
So I want to note that 1 out of 5 transgender persons have attempted suicide. So I think it's important
because of my line of questioning? So we can't talk about it?
Because denying that trans people exist and pretending not to know that they exist
I'm
is
denying that
dangerous.
trans people exist by asking you if you're talking about women having pregnancies?
Do you believe that men can get pregnant?
No, I don't think women can get
So
pregnant.
you are denying that trans people exist?
And that leads to violence? Is this how you run your classroom? Are students allowed to question you? Or are they also treated like this, where
No,
they're told that they're opening up people to violence?
We have a good time in my class. You should join.
I bet.
You might learn a lot.
Wow, I would learn a lot. I've learned a lot just in this exchange.
Absolutely.
Extraordinary.
Yep.
Can't focus on her argument with those crazy eyes blinking like they're sending Morse code. Girl, just stop.
So both of you do OnlyFans. How much do you make, Nicolette?
I make a lot.
How much per month?
I think it's like kind of tacky to say like exactly how much money you make.
I mean, it's tacky to be on OnlyFans in the first place, but...
Shots fired.
I mean, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. That's like bad vibes right there. Like, oh my god.
Disagreement is bad vibes.
I seriously don't know how these OV moguls fake their talking style, as if they are some innocent softcore girls. Like, at least keep it real.
Wait, you're leaving, Kiko?
I'm not rage quitting. It's just it's 12:30.
You can admit it.
I'm hungry. No, I'm not upset at all. It's just.
Do you want to watch a tape clip before you leave?
Not really.
Should we talk about abortion? Do you want to talk about abortion really quick? Just throwing it out. Kiko.
Bye, Kiko. Nice speaking with you tonight. I was being serious.
I really thought I could get past it, but.
Well, I just drive safe.
Sorry, I don't want to be like
Oh, welcome back.
Hi, I'm back again. My problem is not, honestly, I'm more upset with how you've conducted yourself earlier in the podcast. It was very unprofessional, in my opinion.
For giggling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Learn how to conduct yourself properly.
I could say the same to you.
Bye, sis. Don't let the logic door hit you on the way out.
What? How many times you've gotten to a club into VIP for free when some ugly chicks had to pay full price?
Is that my fault?
No. I've asked how many times it happened before you go down that path.
I mean, plenty of times in Miami.
Exactly, but that's not fair, is it?
Well, please don't forget I'm not from here.
But that's not the point, ma'am. That's not fair, is it?
I also don't care about those things.
But so you only care about fairness when it doesn't benefit you.
I just don't go to clubs that often.
But that's not the point. I asked you, how many times you've gone to a club where you got in and free, where ugly chicks or less attractive chicks had to pay? And you know that's happened. You didn't say, I'm still, excuse me, sir. Even though I'm attractive, I demand that you charge me full price. You're okay with the double standards that benefit you. But the ones you don't like, you just throw at the wind, use sign language, shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right to deflect and dismiss guys who are normally intimidated by this thing. I'm not. I'm just challenging your positions. You're okay with it not being fair when it benefits you.
No comments. Seriously. Double standards at its peak.
I'm a feminist, and I don't hate men.
You are a self-described feminist. What is a woman?
Why do you want to know?
I'm infinitely curious.
What's a man?
You're looking at one.
You're saying these things because you're trying to get a gotcha.
You're a feminist. Shouldn't you be able to tell me what a woman is?
I'm a feminist.
Isn't that probably important to feminism? What is the woman that you're trying to advance and protect? Isn't that integral to? Is that the whole feminist project? The war
Asking
against
what a woman is the only way that you can get a gotcha over everybody else. Why is it so important to you to define things in certain categories? How does that help your day-to-day life? Like
what other categories in the human species are there besides male and female?
Well, I just think that categorization is usually unhelpful when we're trying to improve society, right?
I have XY chromosomes.
Okay.
Can I give birth?
No, you can't.
Bingo. That's why categorization matters.
Obama.
Nick Walt, ABC News. Imagine fighting for women's rights and not knowing what a woman is. It's like bringing a spoon to a knife fight. Yikes.
Do you know what the leading cause of death for pregnant people is?
Pregnant people?
Mm-hmm.
Mothers? Women?
If you'd like to call them mothers, not all of them are mothers, but if you'd like to call them that.
What are they if they're not mothers?
They're pregnant people.
What people other than mothers are pregnant?
It's interesting because you come into this conversation, trying to hold this moral superiority. But when I use inclusive language, which it only takes a couple extra syllables to use inclusive language,
To include
and
who?
it seems to include people who don't identify as women but can become pregnant.
So you're telling me that in order to be a moral person, I need to accept the idea that a man can really become a woman. That's a prerequisite of my being a moral person.
I mean, yes.
I would like to identify, I do identify actually, as the correct person. On this issue. And I would just ask that you accept and affirm my identity.
That's not your identity.
That is my identity.
Oh my guy. We love it when Knowles destroys these shallow narratives. He is like, no BS allowed.
If you'd like to be a woman, you can identify as a woman. I don't know why there is such an issue.
Anyone can, right?
I don't see a problem with
Just literally put the hand up and say I'm a woman. Okay, why can't I identify as a black lesbian?
Well, firstly, I mean, it was.
I'm serious. I'm serious. If I can identify as anything without any need to prove I'm actually what that is, why can't I on International Women's Day say I'm Piers Morgan, I'm a black lesbian?
I think taking it to a kind of absurd status.
I think
we're
that's
talking
what.
about quite a
with
strong
respect, I think that
change.
you'd already opened the absurdity door by saying it is limitless. You can do what you like. Anyone can say I'm a woman. How many genders are there?
2.
There are 2 genders.
Well,
Wow. So you don't believe in transgenders at all?
I think there are.
Whoa, hang on. Whoa. There are 2 genders.
Well, it's taught in.
Well, you say well. You've literally just launched this huge defence of transgenderism. Now you've eradicated.
In mansplaining, when a man explains something to a woman, in How fucking brilliant was that? She did not know that was the actual fucking joke. Ooh. You really thought you hit big then with that one, didn't you? I'm gonna call out this misogyny on stage. Don't raise a glass. You haven't won anything. You completely fucked it up. I mean, this whole routine was pro-feminism. Now I fucking hate all bitches after this. I'm back to toxicity now.
Average Piers Morgan roasting. Iconic.
I saw the other day a person saying, don't call me he or she, call me they. And I was like, what the f***? It took me 3 years to learn I am, you are, he is, she is. This whole gender neutral pronoun is confusing for me. Let me tell you a story. I invited a friend to have dinner at my house the other day. And he was like, oh, I'm bringing a friend. And I said, of course, bring him. He was like, no, bring them. So I bought a lot of food. I bought briskets and pizzas and pastas. And my friend showed up at my house with one person. So I said, where are they? And he said, they are here. So you tell them that they are gonna eat all of this food.
These comedians are seriously done with alphabet people.
Bro, this whole body shaming bullshit is.
Yeah, it
I
makes
think
no sense. It's too double standard.
Yeah. How are you making fun of guys for their height?
Yeah.
It's something you have no control over, and it's become too common now. Girls can freely put over 6 feet only in their Tinder bio.
Huh.
But if
Why can't I say the same?
No, what if I put under 50 kgs only? Imagine.
Yeah.
Women and double standards. The dynamic duo. They should have their own sitcom at this point.
Absolutely. Really? I'm a two-time Olympic gold medalist, undisputed champion. I think people get it kind of. They always say, "Oh, you know, a woman can't beat a man." I spar with men, and I mean, I drop men. I bust men nose. I beat men up all the time. I think I can beat up Keith Thurman. Really? I really do. I think I can beat up Keith Thurman, even though they like, oh, he beat Sean Porter. I think I can beat Sean Porter too. And boxing is a sweet science. It's not about strength.
Yes. Oh. Then, out of nowhere, she got brutally knocked out by an unknown male boxer. Ooh. Now she's become a laughingstock in the boxing community.
Stop it. Get some help.
Sis won 2 Olympic medals, but still got knocked out by some unknown dude. Like, how embarrassing can you get?
Hey! When everyone says, you should do it.
Bruh, she had the nerve to fight him without proper hand placement. That's like stepping into a boxing ring wearing flip-flops NGL, bro.
First, girl, serious advice. You need to stop making decisions and choices. Find a man in your family who is sensible and who really cares about you. And just take their advice seriously. Also, abandon feminism. It's truly poison. Okay, you guys are all just like really misogynistic.
What is misogynistic about his statement? I'm just asking how you define misogyny.
Can I go?
Are you okay? Like, do you want to go as in leave? If you want to leave, you can leave. I was hoping we could continue having a conversation, but
I think that was the first time in her life she was faced with like the truth and the consequences of her actions. And
I think she was just like gathering like everything she said on here, and it just hit her kind of.
That was sad.
Your definition is that a woman is someone who is female, you said, right?
Correct, is a biological female.
So what happens if we have maybe someone who is female, identifies as a woman, right? Cisgender woman, right? As you just explained, but maybe doesn't have the ability to reproduce. Maybe doesn't have those organs that you're talking about that are reproductive organs.
I have answered the question. You stood up here and said trans women are women.
Yes.
Tell me what you mean. What is a woman?
Womanhood is something that, just as Ethan explained, I cannot define because I am not
But
myself.
you used the word. So what did you mean when you said trans women are women if you don't know what it means?
Right. So here's the thing. So I do not define what a woman is because I do not identify as a woman. Womanhood is something that is an umbrella term. It includes people who...
That describes what?
People who identify as a woman.
Identify as what?
As a woman.
What is that?
Was to each their own. Okay. Each woman, each man, each person is going to have a different relation with their own gender identity and define it differently.
Stop it. Get some help.
Tripping hard right now. A trans woman with a beard is just breaking every rule in the handbook.
Older people like you guys, you can't grasp the idea.
Excuse me, I'm quite young.
All right, buddy.
I identify as 19.
See, this is the argument that people keep pulling. It's not about that.
Why
If
is that
people
not
want
a
to be
legitimate argument, though? Why can't I identify as a black person, but I can identify as a woman?
What? See, this is what I mean. Why is it harmful that people want to, like, identify as another gender? How does that harm you?
How does it harm you that I want to identify as 19?
It doesn't harm me.
Okay, so then why don't you accept it?
I didn't say I didn't accept it.
Do you accept that I'm 19?
If you want to say that, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't affect me.
So will you take back your statement where you said that I was an old man?
What?
I now identify as black t-shirt 19-year-old guy. It's official. Somebody hand me my ID card.
This is what happens when schools are more focused on teaching gay sex than life skills.
With my credit card, I max that out to 4,000.
What do you mean you max it out? Max it out or maxed it out?
So my max, I got confused with the credit debt and the credit limit. I ended up getting a max credit limit of $8,000. So I could spend up to $8,000. That's what that means, right? Me and my boyfriend, me and my friends, we would go out and I'm like, oh, I'll pay for everybody. I got it. I'll spend the money. Don't worry about it. It's just a credit card. So I would pay and pay and pay and pay. And then I called my mom one day and I wanted her to be proud of me. So it's just like, hey, I've got $4,000 credit on my credit card. And she's like, credit limit or credit debt? I was like, what's debt? She's like, that's bad. Why did you do that? I'm like, I thought that was good.
My comprehension capacity maxed out, pun intended. Watching this.
A good argument.
All you LGBTQ people are going to stand before God one day. You're going to stand before God one day, and what's going to happen is you're going to get judged by the law. And if you're judged by the law, everyone here is guilty. Listen to the screams. You hear those screams? That's what hell sounds like. Listen. But the thing is, but they're not going to be screams of joy. They're going to be screams of pain. The Bible says that you'll be cast out to outer darkness where they'll be weeping, wailing. Now look, what you guys are doing.
Bro is definitely going to heaven after giving these hellbound people a reality check. Preach, sir, preach.
That there are genetic or biological characteristics that define a woman?
That's a tough question. I don't really like to label things, just a woman, women have their parts, but I feel like, they could be whatever they want to be,
Could a woman get testicular cancer?
Yes.
But if you want to walk around saying you're a woman with a penis, then good for you.
I'm a woman with a penis, guys.
If that's what you feel, then you're a woman,
Yeah. So would you date me?
Some of these woke people don't even know what a woman is, and yet they are able to vote.
Hello, darkness, my old
Finest comeback award goes to this dude. Like, seriously, if you're so pro-LGBTQ, maybe you should date him.
I'll tell you what this world needs right now. It needs all the old school grandpas to come back to life, make you go pick a switch off a tree, bring it back to them so they could tear your ass up with it. And then we wouldn't have to deal with bullshit like this. And just like that, we wouldn't have to deal with any more liberals. We wouldn't have to fight, argue, cancel people. We just need an old man with principles, morals,
Chef kiss. America really needs a grandpa to knock the gayness out of it.
Hey, come on. Man. Yo, chill. Hey, chill. Hey, chill it. Oh my god. Oh my god, what's wrong with you? Spit on me. Thanks for everybody.
Now this is equality. Ha 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 ha. Finally some justice.
You gotta punch the fucking head. This is law and order. Piece of fucking shit.
Fuck you, fascist! Fuck you, fascist!
You're all fucking pieces of shit. Fuck.
Chad level satisfaction. Bravo. Slow clap.
Was that a boo over there? What was that? What's that?
We love you, Mark.
Wait, what did I do?
Fucking supporting prostitution. You know about sex trafficking, right?
Wow. Supporting prostitution? Yes, I've given them money for years. What the hell are you talking about? You don't know me, you fucking psycho cunt. Shut up. So crazy. You think you're the good guy in the movie, you know? What a fucking retard. All right. Oh, is that her? Oh, great. All right. Wait, what did I do? Why are you mad? I don't get it. What do you mean I'm promoting it? I'm telling a joke, you fucking psycho. Jesus Christ. I don't think she's smart. Suck my dick. All right, well. That's sexual assault. You're promoting sexual assault. Where does it end? Suck my dick. I'm sure that was transphobic in some way. If we're really doing the numbers here. Should have never fucked her. Yeah, that's really the problem. All right, I'm Kevin Hart.
Woke women embarrassing themselves. It's their favorite hobby at this point.
Shut up! Shut up!
Blondes always know how to make others angry. And now, he will show you his strength.
Bro, I'm sure this lady filed a case after starting a physical fight herself, because that's what these women do. Lol. Classic woke move.
A woke woman accuses men of color of being colonizers.
Okay. Do you know how to spell colonizer?
What's that?
Colonizer?
The colonizer label got thrown out. It's getting serious, Fez.
So you're about to be expelled from
Miss-
drag con. Nobody cares about
Colombian, Nicaraguan, Spanish. How dare you?
How dare I?
I'm Latinx.
Treating your friends here in uncomfortable ways, grabbing their body, going past their birth.
It's a pad that I bought about an hour ago.
You don't own anything that you buy.
I did pay for it. I own that. I can own. I know you don't believe in property rights with that colonizer language. I bought it. I'll grab it all I want. He's darker than you. He's darker than you. You cannot call us colonizers. You're not colonizers. And miss, look it. You call the help in. You call in a man of color to help.
The help.
Is this your henchman? I think you're the colonizer now.
A white woman calls you a colonizer, and then she brings in her brown security guard. The hypocrisy is real.
Now.
Man, how do these drag queens stand themselves? So embarrassing. I mean, look what happened next.
You're bringing in your subordinates of color to get us out of here. Real nice, sister. Real nice.
I'm protecting transgender individuals.
Well, I am trying to introduce another one into your community. That's what I'm trying to do. Yeah. Fez, it's TransCon. These aren't lesbians. We lied to you all along.
No! Oh my god! I'm so shocked!
Well, Fez, whose side are you on? Our side or the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence?
I don't know.
It's time to decide right now.
I'm some of the boys.
That's right. Sister, he's rolling with me, baby.
Fíjate concepto bien bromeas.
Shame on him, too? I thought you were trying to protect this they-them thing.
The child is inside the mother's body, and the mother needs to have the right to choose whether she wants to go through it.
What does
Why does the location of the being matter to its moral worth?
We're not going to get anywhere if we can't agree on when the being comes into existence. You believe that the child is born when it's conceived. I believe a child is born, when it lives experiences. That is a
Lives experience. Wait a second. When my baby was 26 weeks old, it would kick in familiarity to my voice, listen to music. So experiences, I mean, and why would you draw that line? Why not at the creation of the deoxyribonucleic acid, the DNA, when the new being's process into full and complete adult human development begins?
I wouldn't like to say that you got me dumbfounded.
Yes, bro. Dumbfounded is the only appropriate response to this insanity.